Hello. I am filming this intro well into December at this point, but I didn't have time to film one before we left for Japan, so filming it now along with my outro. This is my Not NaNoWriMo vlog for 2025. Like I have said in previous videos, I know NaNoWriMo is dead, but it is still, like I've said previously, sort of a rhythm that I have had in my life for a few years now. Not necessarily always going the full way to 50,000 words, but usually it means working on a project that is different or that is new or that is specific to the month of November so that I have something to play around with and work on at that time, kind of keep the creative gears turning. So this year I'm in a unique position because I finished a draft recently. I want to say it was near the end of October. So I was in no position to launch right into a new draft in November because I don't have anything prepared to work on. What I decided to do was to use this month just to kind of explore an idea that I've been wanting to start playing around with. So I got a little notebook to work in and I brought it with me on our trip and kind of just wanted to see what would happen in this month. So that's what I did. A lot of this video is going to be mostly a travel vlog with some writing sprinkled in, but it was a month for exploring and playing around with these ideas. So I will stop chatting and let the vlog start rolling, and I will check back in with you at the end. Ever since I was a kid, I've gotten motion sick when I travel. I still remember being 10 or 11 years old and fighting through nausea in the back row of our car so I could get through another chapter of Levin Thumps and the Whispered Secret, which had consumed my young imagination. As time went on, my motion sickness worsened, and when we traveled, I mostly had to content myself with listening to music and daydreaming. It has created a habit in me from a young age to simply sit with my thoughts, especially when traveling. It was on these family road trips as a kid and then as a teenager that I would sit and dream up ideas for stories or spend my time wandering through the worlds I imagined.
Now, when I travel, to daydream and imagine and think up ideas feels like the most natural response I can have, and Japan was no exception.
What's up, guys? Look at the little baby ones. Hi, honey. Thank you for bowing. Hello.
Oh, jeez.
What is it?
That's a big cockroach.
Oh no.
Where did it come from? Pasty.
There's
Oh, it's on.
Oh, I have to burn the jacket. It's over. Give me those tongue sleeves.
Yours.
dude.
No!
Don't.
I was watching that, buddy. I was like, oh,
Okay. Let's cancel.
Besides that absolutely horrifying spider that literally fell from the heavens into our gathering, this was one of my favorite parts of the trip. Our dear friends had moved to Japan earlier this year and we hadn't seen them in months. Most of the time we were all in separate hotels, but here we got to be under one roof together, share a few good meals, a few good insect-induced scares, and more than a few good laughs.
probably a week and a half or so now, and I haven't done any writing since we returned. I've been working on catching up on rest, catching up on work. Samwise is also here with me squeaking underneath my desk as he does. Every time I try to talk. So because it's Thanksgiving, I don't have a ton of time to work today, but I did want to at least get a little bit done because I've been meaning to all week because I've been on break and I just keep not doing it. Other things keep coming up. To be fully honest, I've been lazy and haven't really felt the urgency, but I'm okay with that for this project because I'm still in the brainstorming phase. So today I think what I want to do is maybe work in my notebook a little bit and then probably need to do a little bit of research as well. I am finding there are some gaps in my knowledge of what I want to accomplish with this. So there's some folklore that I want to look at a little bit more deeply, do a little bit of surface level research. I might start there today and then try to work a little bit in the notebook. I have maybe 40-ish, 45-ish minutes or so, so I'm just going to go ahead and do as much as I can in that time, film what I've got. This may honestly be the last little bit that I do in this month, but hopefully I'll be able to do at least one other session before November ends, but we'll see. Again, this is like I'm sure I will be putting in the title, this is my Not NaNoWriMo writing blog, but again, this rhythm that I'm trying to keep alive in my life of starting a project around this time for at least this year. So we will see how we do. Gonna go ahead and get started and just see what I can accomplish. So here we go. And that's all. The month of November was very interesting because, again, I didn't really have any set goals for what I wanted to accomplish. I just wanted to start playing around with this idea. So what was useful, what did guide my ideas, and what I was working on in my notebook was from Rachel Giffen. She is a writing coach that I follow on Instagram, and I purchased one of her workbooks that's called the 60-Minute Novel Plan, or something along those lines, and essentially she walks you through the beginning brainstorming steps. And it's set up so that you can accomplish and have sort of an idea of where to begin within an hour and you're ready to start writing. Definitely took me more than an hour, but I think that's because I was working by hand and because a lot of these ideas are so new to me. There would be some questions that I would get to and I would just have to stop because I wouldn't know the answer to them, but it was good. It guided my thought processes and I know a lot more about the story now than I did at the beginning, which was the goal in the end. Didn't complete the entire thing. I think out of 5 steps that she has laid out, I have completed 4 of them. So I have a little bit more to do, but I'm perfectly okay with that at this point. I feel excited to continue exploring this idea. I think once I am finished with her document, I'm going to go ahead and start trying to put together an outline. There's still a lot of little pieces that I'm still figuring out, or pieces that I have an idea for, but it's an idea that could go multiple different directions, and I'm not sure which one I like best yet. So the next step will be creating something of an outline based on what I have here and what I have accomplished thus far this month. Don't know exactly if I have a deadline for that. Again, I am trying to give myself the space to kind of play around with it and give myself a break from really hitting the drafting super hard, because this last project that I finished was exhausting and a lot of work. And as excited as I am about this project, I want to be able to approach it organically and to not force anything. So I'm letting it kind of simmer in the background of my thoughts and figure out what is supposed to become of it the more that I let it kind of marinate. And I have noticed that already, that the more that I do that, the more ideas kind of pop into my head naturally and the more connections I start to make. I've talked about this in previous videos. I honestly don't know which ones, but this idea of letting yourself daydream and letting your kind of subconscious figure out those puzzle pieces that are missing or letting them connect, I have found that's been super useful for me as a writer and in my creative life to not force anything and to let those connections happen naturally, because your brain is always working. So getting good sleep, letting yourself just imagine, listening to or watching or reading media that inspires you, that's all been super useful for me. So again, I'm not forcing it in any way. And even though I don't want to force it, my hope is that early next year I will be able to start drafting or at least have a completed outline to work on. This should hopefully be a smaller project than the last one. I say that every time and then I make it bigger, but for this particular story, there really isn't a ton going on. I know I have one plot line that I'm following. It's from one character's perspective and it's a middle grade novel. So it will be more compact in and of itself, just as the genre dictates and as the age group dictates. But yes, I think that's where I'm at this moment. I'm happy with what I've accomplished. I had a wonderful time in Japan. As I said previously in the video, traveling really just inspires me a lot, especially if it's a place that I've never been to before. Something about seeing these new things gets the wheels turning because it's new information to digest and new things to inspire me, new things to consider and kind of unpack. I have one more video idea that I would like to complete within this year, but we will see if I have time with the Christmas season coming up. It's a little bit busy with work and just with personal life, so hopefully we'll have at least one more video before the end of the year, but if not, early in the new year for sure. Thank you as always for being here and for joining me on this journey. I appreciate each and every one of you and your kind words and your encouragement over these last couple years that I have been doing this. As usual, if you like this content, you can go ahead and click on the subscribe button below. No pressure, but it is there for you. And if you would also like to follow me on Instagram and Goodreads, those links are also below. In the meantime though, happy reading, happy writing, and I will chat with you all soon.